Chicago. This is the first annual real estate conference with IMN, correct?
Correct. It's our first annual Midwest Real Estate Conference.
Okay. And so I'm with Martin McNulty with IMN, which is one of the conference providers. And we had a very good conference here. And although it was strictly on real estate, I think one of the important words was family offices. And often people ask, is it beneficial to go to conferences? Is it not beneficial to go to conferences? What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's beneficial to go to the right conferences. And the right conferences will have a blend of the right content, the right attendees, and then the right sort of service providers who oftentimes will provide the backbone of it. And as long as you have, consider it like the securities industry, suitability. As long as there's suitable content, suitable attendees, then the event will work. But if you're going to do a real estate conference and you have nobody who's going to invest in real estate, it's not going to work. And if you have a family office conference and you have nobody who knows anything about family offices, it's not going to work. So we try to blend the two.
So when talking to family offices, what type of feedback have you received over the time that you've been having family office conferences?
Sure. The feedback that we've received is that the families feel as if we've created a conducive environment to networking, to not just networking with each other, but to networking with interesting deal providers. And the main thing that we try to tell everybody is that today is a day to make connections, and today is a day to learn something. Today is not the day you're going to circle 50 million. So when you meet each other, be humans. Be friendly. And make a friend. Because this is a long lead time. And I try to counsel anybody that wants to attend as an attendee or someone seeking capital that, listen, I've been in your shoes before. It's frustrating. But if you come today with the sense that you're going to make a friend or you're going to find a way to connect with somebody, you'll be better off. Because oftentimes a family office might say to you, we don't do that. But I know someone who does. Once you've shown them that, hey, you're a real person and that your company is not going to disappear overnight or that you're not a creep and that you are who you say you are, you earn greater dividends that way. That's been my experience.
Now, one of the things, I've gone to quite a number of conferences since we started in the family office space, a number of IMNs, and one of the things I've noticed is that, especially for single-family offices that don't have access to deal flow, that it allows them to meet or get introduced to different type of investment opportunities.
Absolutely, and we try to have a wide variety. We don't want to just kind of clog it all. Well, we're just doing student housing or we're just doing crowdfunding. If we have someone who's doing student housing, we had a group here today that actually does affordable housing for Chicago's inner city, which is kind of a local thing, but also, I think a project that appeals to a lot of people's sort of inner nobility. And then we have interesting thing about, we had a marijuana group, or we had a group for sort of, making senior housing, things that actually service a need, again, it's about suitability, and can we have variety? Because we're all in the same clip, which is something you find more and more in asset management, where everybody is in long-short equity. So, there's 4,000, 5,000 hedge funds, and probably 2,000 are long-short equity. But in real estate, there's a little bit more diversification and a little less sort of all hat and no cattle. Because if you're going to be developing an office building, you got to be able to back it up. You can't just say we'd like to.
Now, from what percentage would you say are family offices at your conference? At your family office
Sure.
conferences?
Well, they've been growing because it's a relatively new franchise for us. Our longest running programs are in Miami and Huntington Beach, California. And they've grown incrementally. Perhaps the first one, which I wasn't part of, but perhaps the first one was maybe less than a fourth. Let's say single, multi, and mostly wealth managers. Now it's genuinely about one solid third will be single and multi-family office groups. 1/3 will be the wealth management groups, and then 1/3 will be the various deal providers and service providers. And that's kind of a good blend because then the service providers and the deal providers, they get to seek out the other 2/3.
So have you received any feedback from family offices about meeting other family offices at your events?
Yes, so we have received mixed feedback. We have a networking tool that I have my reservations about it in the event that perhaps families get inundated with spam, and then they won't come to the event, or then they'll never come to another event. And so some of the families kind of flew under the radar. It was the first time that we've used it for this. So we're open to feedback. It's an iterative model. We're always trying to move things forward. So far, on site, the families have been able to connect, and the reason why is we had a pre-conference kickoff. So we had our list internally of who was a legitimate family office who was attending, and we invited them to meet each other. So out of the 50 plus people, 60 or so, that were on the list, 30, 40 actually made it to the breakfast or made it to the room and were floating around, and they got to know each other. So I've actually seen a lot of congregating in the hall, a lot of networking, and it seems as if there was a lot of mind share.
You know, one of the things I will mention about that, because this was the first time you said that you put it out there, is that I had invitations sent to me from people that wanted to meet me, and it had a little blurb,
Right.
or they talked about why they wanted to meet, and it allowed me to accept a decline.
That was the whole point. Yeah.
And that way it's sort of like, okay, fine, you can ask me, but if I don't want to meet with you, I'm not going to say yes, because maybe there's not a match. You
Right.
know? So
Swipe whichever way, right?
yeah, right. So I thought that was good. So, what are some of the other outside of real estate? Obviously, this is about real estate and family offices, but what other conferences do you guys have for families that could go to?
Sure. So we have 3 divisions at IMN: real estate, structured finance, and asset management. I would say anything within those 3 verticals, there's a plethora, and I would encourage you guys to check our website because we have a full schedule each year. But within my own portfolio, I have global indexing and ETF, and that's going to be June next year in California. And I would say that it's worthwhile for a family to go because think of ETFs as a cash alternative. Or we have our Alpha Hedge series. There's still hedge funds still flock to family offices for deals, and now is the time that an investor can say no 2 and 20. How about 20% no management, and we lock it up for 4 years, or whatever structure they want, and you'll see people saying yes. Obviously, we have our family office real estate vertical, which is our next iteration is going to be in Miami in November, which is already shaping up to be a really good event. I personally have received commitment from 30 family offices who want to speak, not just participate, which is huge because it's a sort of a shy industry, and to get people to say, yeah, I want to share my insights is nice. But I do encourage you to check out our website and see what my colleagues have to offer.
Well, I want to.
Shameless.
So I want to thank you for taking some time and talking a little bit. The question about conferences: are they really beneficial? Do they make a difference? I can tell you that every time I've gone to a conference, I've been able to meet probably 8 to 10 people I've never met before. And I find that invaluable, quite honestly. And there's definitely some good content. I sat on a panel this morning where we talked about how to approach a family office, and we got a lot of great feedback about that. And it's insight that is truly beneficial. So I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate you chatting.
Thank you.